What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing some functional training. A lot of you that follow me on Instagram have noticed that I do quite a bit of functional training, and you've probably been wondering why or what they are. So I just thought I'll do a video focusing on functional movements and explain why I do functional training. And I just thought I'll do a video incorporating all the basic functional training movements that I do that you guys can use and implement into your training. Functional training involves using different movement patterns to improve on core stability, strength, and mobility as well. A lot of professional athletes do functional training, and I just thought, why not incorporate it into what I do? Again, I'm going to give you different stages of a movement, so I'll give you the easier version and a progression movement as well. Anyone can do functional training, man, woman, whatever fitness level you are. Just pick whichever fits, whichever you're more comfortable with, and implement that into your training. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to answer every question you have. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you find the video useful. Let's go!
First we have the Turkish get-ups. As you can see in the video, I have purposely slowed down the video so you can carefully see each stage of the movement. This exercise for me is one I highly recommend and is a staple in my training. It is a great full body functional movement that will help with greatly improving shoulder strength and core stability. This is one exercise that I highly recommend to everyone to include into your training. You can also use a dumbbell, however, if you don't have a kettlebell, but a kettlebell would be ideal. And next we have the walking overhead lunges. Arm straight up overhead. Keep your core nice and tight before you lunge forward. Try and keep your hands straight up throughout the movement. Avoid bending your elbows. Keeping your free arms out to the side or in front helps for stability and balance. To progress this movement, you can have both hands overhead. Again, keeping your arms nice and straight. And also you can use a dumbbell instead of kettlebells, but be aware that the dumbbells are slightly harder on this movement, especially when doing a double overhead lunge. So next we have the seated kettlebell shoulder press. Make sure you are seated with your legs out in front of you. Do not bend your knees. Try and keep your legs out straight out as possible, holding both kettlebells. And then when you press up, make sure you twist your hands, as you can see in the video, to face outwards. Avoid rocking too much when pressing. Keep your core nice and tight by taking a deep breath in before you press upwards. Another tip I will give is by contracting your lats before you press overhead. That actually helps in terms of stability. To make this slightly more difficult, you can press both kettlebells at the same time. This move requires great core strength to keep you upright, as you've taken your legs away from helping to stabilize you. So I suggest you start with single arm first and don't go too heavy on this until you are comfortable enough to increase the weight. Have the overhead barbell squats. With the bar overhead, making sure that the bar is slightly behind my head. Standing in a squat stance, usually keeping my feet wider than my hips, and also making sure again to keep your core tight by breathing in before you squat down. An easy option would be to use a broomstick first if the bar is too heavy. The easier option would be to do a seated overhead squat using a bench as shown in the video. The same principle applies. Next we have the heel elevated pistol squat. Starting with my heels elevated on a plate, then raising one leg up out in front of me, making sure to keep that leg straight. Also bringing both hands out in front for stability, then squatting down to the floor gently, and once at the bottom of the movement, driving through my glutes and hamstrings. The pistol squat is great for mobility, glute activation, and correcting imbalances. For an easier option, use a bench. Another alternative is a dumbbell pistol squat. As you can see in the video, the dumbbell actually acts as a counterbalance, so it makes it's not as difficult as you will think watching this. Next we have the kettlebell COSSACK squats. These are absolutely one of the best for improving hip mobility and flexibility for leg sessions, or if you do Olympic lifting. I also like to do these especially before a leg session. An alternative will be using a barbell, resting on top of your traps as you would do a normal squat. Progress this movement, hold a bar overhead with a wide grip, almost the same as you would do a overhead squat position, and then repeat the movement. Next we have feet elevated shoulder taps. These are a great shoulder strengthening exercise and also really works your core. With your legs elevated, hands shoulder width apart, tap each shoulder whilst trying to keep your core centered. So avoid twisting your body too much. Even watching this video back, I'm probably twisting a little bit too much for what I would like. To make this slightly harder, move your body closer to the box and also raise your glutes. As you can see in the video, keep your glutes higher up and repeat the shoulder taps. Next we have the decline resistant band plank. As you can see in the video, one end of the band to your legs, tie that around your legs and the other over your hand, and then get into the decline plank position. The aim is to raise the leg with the band up, take it outwards and bring it back down to the floor. And then you reverse the movement back onto the box. This exercise really works your core, shoulders, hamstrings and glutes. This exercise is one I would also highly recommend. So if there are a few you can take away from this video, I would add this to the list. The next one we have is called a man maker. Starting with 2 dumbbells, make sure the dumbbells aren't too heavy if you haven't done this before. As you can see fully demonstrated in the video, I have purposely slowed this down so that you can see every single movement. You can either also finish with the dumbbell squat or a dumbbell squat into a overhead press. An alternative to this will just be dumbbell rowing whilst in the plank position. This exercise is a great full body movement that requires the use of everything from your core, legs and upper body. It helps to build stability, your mobility and core strength at the same time. If you haven't done this one before, at the end of this, you would definitely feel like you've done a full body workout. That's it for the functional training videos. I hope you can take some of these exercises and put them into your training. If you do, let me know. Your feedback will be awesome. Hope you found the video useful. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. That will be great. And wait to bring out more videos for you guys as well. Thank you so much for watching.